Hey, welcome back to World Entertainment, and some interesting news regarding writer strikes has come about in the form that George R. Martin, the author of none other than Game of Thrones, his contract with HBO has been suspended. And now he's saying he's working on Winds of Winter, a book which the fans of this series have been waiting for 11 and a half years. He now says he's working on. But wait till you hear this article, which is overbounding into comics, because the amount of crap he is doing that's not the books is ridiculous. So here we go. Game of Thrones creator George R. Martin reveals his big overall deal with HBO was recently suspended. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Martin reportedly signed a 5-year, 8-figure deal with HBO back in 2021 to develop more content for the network and its streaming service, which recently rebranded from HBO Max to Max, which was a stupid thing to do anyway. Why would you drop the HBO? It's the HBO part that people know. At the time of the deal, Martin was reportedly working with HBO to develop House of the Dragon, which is currently filming its second season despite the ongoing SAG strike, due to it filming outside the United States with non-SAG union members.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
So, screw you, SAG, I guess. Here we go. Wait till you start hearing this stuff. He was also working on developing a House of the Dragon spin-off following Lord Crolles, Valerian, with Rome creator Bruno Heller at the helm. He also was working on a series that would follow the founder of Dorne, Nymeria, that would take place 1,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones, which is basically what House of the Dragon is meant to be doing. Isn't that also funny? He wanted to do a spin-off of House of the Dragon. He wanted to do a spin-off to a spin-off. Doesn't stop there, folks. Other Game of Thrones projects included one focusing on King's Landing slum, Flaybottom, that would explore the lives of everyday citizens and the criminal underworld rather than focusing on powerful lords and ladies.
You serious?
Martin was also developing a Dunk and Egg series that evolved into A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. The series is expected to adapt Martin's short story titled The Hedge Knight, as well as the novels The Sworn Sword and The Mystery Knight. The series received a straight order from Max back in April. And no, doesn't end there either, because finally Martin was also working on some kind of animated series set within the Game of Thrones world.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
Wow. There also is one more thing that pops up in this, so hang on. So Martin detailed in a blog post that his deal was suspended on June 1st. He wrote, "As for me personally, my overall deal with HBO was suspended on June 1st. He did not provide details on why his deal was suspended, but it does come about a month after the Writers Guild of America went on strike. Martin is a member of the guild and says he has been picketing in New Mexico. While his deal was suspended, he appears unconcerned. Why would he? He's probably sitting in his back garden playing with choo-choo trains again. He says, I still have plenty to do, of course, in that I am one of the lucky ones. These strikes are not really about name writers or producers or showrunners, most of whom are fine. We're striking for the entry level writers, the story editors, the students hoping to break in, the actor who has 4 lines, the guy working his first staff job who dreams of creating his own show one day, as I did back in the 80s. Of note, he said he is working on a stage play set in the Game of Thrones world called The Iron Throne. So he was doing just show after show after show, an animated show he wanted to do, and now you're hearing he's working on a Game of Thrones stage play. He also shared an update on the 6th novel in his Song of Ice and Fire series, Winds of Winter. He says, and yes, of course, I've been working on Winds of Winter almost every day, writing, rewriting, editing, writing some more, making steady progress. Not as fast as I would like, certainly not as fast as you would like, but progress nonetheless. Finally, he shared he's editing a number of wild card books. He's progressing, but not as fast as he'd like. 11 years. 11 years. He hasn't been progressing as fast as he would like. But there you go. He seems to be just trying to pump out as much Game of Thrones stuff, live action, on TV, as he possibly can, which makes 0 sense. HBO spent like 30 million on a pilot episode that ended up, they went, no, can't remember what that one was called. It was another prequel series. Was it like Blood Moon or some crap like that? Don't know, can't remember. But there you go. George R.R. Martin says he's finally working on the book. Anyone who's been waiting for that book will believe it when they actually are holding the book in their hands. But his overall deal has been suspended, with no real reason given why. But it's looking possibly to do with the writer's strike, which is funny when he's just basically giving them notes with the show. He's not actually writing the shows. Anyway, with that, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers, I'll catch you in the next one.